right, without further ado, Sensei Nick Dougherty.
We're going to be talking about a couple things today. Firstly, I'm going to be talking about social media. Obviously, you know, I always talk a lot about social media. And we're going to talk a little bit about mobile marketing. But before I get started, I wanted to just tell you quickly the reason why I'm doing this particular class. The reason why I'm doing this particular class is because now I'm obviously working for CWAY. I have an office. So I have to work on my schools. I don't get to work in my schools like I used to. So I'm working on my schools, meaning that I'm only teaching basically 4 classes a week. I'm no longer involved in the daily operations whatsoever. So this is exactly what I do for my schools, even though I'm not there anymore. And in the past, since January, we've enrolled over, I would say, about 115 people from Facebook, okay? Combination of cardio kickboxing, kids, from using Facebook. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. So if you have any questions, I will be available. I have a room. Anything for Facebook, anything on social media, you can come visit me, and I can help you. I can tell you what you're doing, you know, wrong, or what you need help with later on. So I'll tell you a little bit about that afterwards. So I just wanted to tell you that's why I chose this topic. So the first thing I want to talk about is this is one of the things I try to explain to all the people in the library and what you're trying to do. So I have a gift for everybody here, all right, because I want to give you something, all right, and this is what you need to do with social media. If you're going out on Facebook, Twitter, blogging, whatever, and you're just pitching, and you're never giving, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get any students. You're not going to get any leads. You're not going to get anything. So this is a prime example of how to use it. And I'm going to be showing you a few examples of how to go offline and bring them online. That's where most of the school owners will fail. That's where most of you guys will fail. You'll start it. You'll get your Facebook. You'll use social site. You'll do all that. But you won't train your staff. You won't get the rest of the team involved in the process. That is where most schools are going to fail. So the free gift I have for you guys, okay, it's an ebook, all right, and it's called How to Keep Your Audience Engaged, okay, for Facebook. How to keep your audience engaged on Facebook. So this is pretty cool. This is a sample, and I could show you. This is what I would tell you guys to do. You could text Sensei Nick to 64842, and that will actually give you the ebook for Facebook, how to keep your audience engaged. If you know how to keep them engaged, you're going to lose them. Right? You're going to lose them. And a really simple rule we're going to talk a lot about today, it's called the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule. And I see a lot of people, and school owners and businesses, they're saying, we're not getting any students, we're not getting leads. I look at their page, and in 1 second, I know why. Because everything is about sign up, buy this, sign up, buy that, sign up, sign up, sign up. And that is the total opposite of the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule, 80% of your posts should be, content-driven, something that's of value for them, not for you, valuable for them. So if you text Sensei Nick, all one word, to 64842, you'll get my free ebook, okay, on how to keep your customers engaged on Facebook. And if you have problems with that later, I'll show you exactly how to do it, and that'll be really cool. So that's a free gift from me, from you guys. I want to be giving you 5 takeaways from today. These are the 5 things I'm going to cover. The first thing is social reach reality. Okay, whether you're getting started or you've done this for the past year, social reach is one of the most important things, and it's one of 2 things. You're either shrinking or growing. There's no in between. You're either not growing your page or you are. It's that simple. So we're going to talk about that. I'm also going to give you the Facebook blueprint, online and offline, for anyone that has a small business. You should be using this. Number 3, the Facebook algorithm. All right, some people have no idea what that is. And if you don't know what it is, then you really are wasting your time on Facebook. If you don't understand it, you're just going about it, you're wasting time, you're wasting money. So I want to teach you exactly what you should be doing in really simple terms, the Facebook algorithm. Okay, sorry about that, one more. Also, where you will want to market people in the future. Master Free talked on it a lot. He showed you how the websites, they're going mobile. All right, and that's really important. We're going to talk about how to market to people and where we're going to be marketing them. And then the 5th thing I'll be going over is combining social and mobile together. And I'm going to show you how that's a really deadly combination. All right, that's a really powerful combination that you want to start getting on as soon as you get back into your schools next week. But before we get started, let's do a quick review. This was the first CWAY. Some people were actually in those pictures. I know Shihan Mike, there's your wife, but she's pregnant, so she couldn't make it. But anyway, you were at the first CWAY. There's some other people in there, some pictures of them. What we talked about at the first CWAY was getting started on social media. What social media was. A lot of people didn't understand what it was. So that was one of the things we talked about. One of the things we talked about was schools that did get started on social media, like how, what they were doing. We talked about that. The other thing we talked about was the difference between the different platforms. We talked about that. We showed you the difference between Facebook, Twitter. And the one thing we have identified is that Facebook, right now, that's the best platform to be on. It's the easiest. You don't waste your time on Twitter. So we started everybody with that. Schools that did not start on social media, okay, they're not growing as fast as the schools that did. All right, and the schools that did not start, if you're in that boat, it's okay. All right, because now the thing is, we've gotten better. We're going to be able to show you some really easy strategies to get started immediately. So the reason why schools that they didn't start were the schools that did start and they didn't grow. The reason why they didn't grow is right there. Okay, no social reach. All right, and that's going to be that's pretty much the one major thing I'm trying to explain to everybody today is without a social reach, you're not going to get students. You're not going to get anybody. You need those people. That reach, that's going to help expand your network. Those people that are on Facebook, your current students, driving them to Facebook, hooking them up, giving them deals, giving them discounts, taking care of them, they're going to take care of you. So that's important. You're not going to get new people that have never been there before. You have to rely on the existing students you have to help promote your Facebook pages. So I cannot stress this point enough on social reach. That is absolutely the most important thing. It doesn't matter what type of marketing you're doing, but especially with social marketing, without social reach, you're not going to go anywhere. Okay, so this is really important. I hear a lot of excuses. Anyone who's a martial arts instructor hears lots of excuses. I'm sure you guys do too. You come in, you're teaching great classes, but you always have to hear about the mom who says, we just want to stop, he just wants to quit. It's the same thing. So excuses, you're hearing a lot of excuses. I'm going to talk about the 3 excuses I hear when it comes to social media with martial arts schools. The first thing is, we are the best. I talk to someone, they're like, oh, that's great, Sensei Nick, that's great, but we've been open for about 20 years. We know what we're doing. That's awesome. That's great. And they're really stuck on that. And I feel, I try to help them. I try to explain to them, that's great. And first of all, if you've been open for 20 years, that is amazing. Congratulations. But we're going to come back to that. We're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. That you've been over 20 years, that's great, but we're going to come back. The second thing, we have someone in-house. We have someone in-house doing it for us. And this you should write this down. Free is more expensive. All right? I'm sure I see people already saying, shaking their heads like, yep, you're right. It does. You know what? It costs you more money. Because when you stop working what that person is doing for free, then you find out all the mistakes they made, and it costs you more money to get caught back up. So when someone's like, we're okay, I have my junior black belt, he's taking care of social media. If your junior black belt's taking care of social media, you are in trouble. I'll tell you that right now. Your junior black belts, assistants, they cannot be taking care of social media. It's got to be the business owner or someone right underneath them, your husband and wife team, that's okay. But teenagers should not be in charge of your business, the future of your business. And I'll come back to that too. And the third thing is time. So those are the 3 excuses. We're the best. We've been open for 20 years. And not even just martial arts schools, all small businesses. They say the same thing. We're okay. We've been around for 20 years. Okay? We have someone in-house and time. So now the reality check. When people are saying that, I want to explain to you what they're really saying. So excuse number 1, we are the best school. Congratulations. All right, I already said that. I know that's an amazing job. I've only been open for 12 years in my school. All right, so if you've been open for 20, you're doing something right. I give you that. Okay, but what I don't give you is that if you think that those leads in your database and those names and numbers, which is names and addresses, are worth anything, you're sadly mistaken. They're worth nothing anymore. You have to get them on social site. You have to get them on to your Facebook. You have to be interacting and engaging with them. So a name and address from 10 years ago, and think about it, you look at those numbers like, well, we have 15,000 contacts. Yeah, but 7,000 of them are never coming back again. You're never going to talk to them again. All right, you need to get them onto Facebook. The second excuse we talked about was having someone in-house take care of it. And I told you free is more expensive. It will cost you more money in the long run. It absolutely will. And if you are going to have someone in-house doing it, do they have a job description? Do they even know what they're doing? right? They're telling you that they could take care of Facebook, they could take care of it. I've talked to at least 20 or 30 people this year from a school owner says, could you talk to this one? He's going to do it for me. And out of those people, 19 of them have had no clue whatsoever. They're on Facebook. They're on. You know, they might know how to use it. Okay, but they don't know how to market. They don't know they don't know anything about content. They don't know anything about that at all. So we can't have people doing that. I have that bottom version over there. This is for Tim Creeder, my boy. All right. When he started working with us, he's like, I'm tired of using the ghetto version. It's time to get serious. He had, like, you know, it's image, it's branding. When people go to your fan page and they're seeing some image that looks like it was made in word art, okay, that's terrible branding. You want to make sure it looks professional. You know what I'm saying? All right. She liked that one. Okay. So excuse number 3, and there's 2 really cool points I'm going to talk about on this one. The first one was when people tell me they don't have time. They don't have time. I talk to school owners every day. I'm talking to an instructor. He says, I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to do it. That's what he's saying to me. And in a nice way, I'm saying that you don't have time means you really don't care about the future of your business if you don't understand how important this is. Because what are you going to do? Are you going to go out to Walmart and hand out flyers? Are you going to go on foot and go out to demonstrations and hand out marketing materials on ad cards and stuff like that? Going from business to business and just leaving your flyers on countertops of pizza shops? They're thrown out in 2 days later. So when someone says that, I'm feeling sorry. I'm saying, wow, this is a shame, because they don't understand the importance of this. The second thing is, to give you an example, Master Freed, my mentor, all right, who's helped me, go from working every single day, just like you guys, teaching karate. Loved it. But honestly, I wanted a challenge. I wanted to try something else. All right, he got me to this point. 2 years ago, when I first started helping Champions Way and doing their social media, I remember I was talking, a couple other people were talking, weren't really listening. All right? And Master Freed said, everybody be quiet. The future of our business depends on this. That's what he said to the other people that work the Champions Way. I'm sitting there, we're going over social media, we're going over the strategy, we're going over what you should be doing. And he told them, the future of our business, Champions Way, depends on this. There's a visionary, there's someone who knows what he's talking about, and he understood it years ago that that's what it was. So keep that in mind. So not having enough time, you're in trouble, all right? Okay, so takeaway number 1, social reach reality. Are you shrinking or growing? Let's go over this. So social reach, what is social reach? Really simple, okay? It's the amount of fans, followers, friends, subscribers that you have on social media platforms. That's your social reach. It's not, I didn't say email addresses, I didn't say contacts in your perfect mind or your database, all right? Social reach, that's what it is, okay? Your fans, followers, and subscribers. So how many followers do you have on Twitter? How many likes do you have on your Facebook fan page? All right. How many subscribers do you have on YouTube? That's your social reach. But just by a show of hands, who's actually in here gone through and has done a reach report and actually knows their social reach? Raise your hand if you actually know your social reach. Okay, a couple of us. Good. Master Baylor. Awesome, Keith. So if you don't, that's okay. We're going to come back to that because you're going to leave here today with a report that you could use every single day to track all of your followers. The reason why it's important, right? Because if it's going down, that's not good. That means people are there like this, all right? I don't want to follow you anymore. Okay, I don't want to listen to you. If it's going down, that's not good. So that's one piece of data that's really critical that we need. For those of you that were here last year at the CWAY, how many people out of those people have seen their social reach grow? Anybody in here? Awesome. Let's give them a hand. Very nice. Good. Good job. The only reason I'm saying that, guys, okay, is because it is hard. All right? It is. That's it. There's not an easy way to do it. You don't touch a button and do it. It's the only way you get it is from hard work. By going into your school, teaching your classes, talking to your students, and saying to everybody, okay, guys, listen, thank you so much. Class is over. Everybody have a seat, or go down. I'll say, go down into sitting position 1. That's when my students go down like this. All right? And I have them over here, and I have the parents over here. All right? And what I'm saying is I'm explaining to the students, I'm saying to them, listen, tonight when you go home, I want everybody to go to our Facebook page, parents, I need you to go there. I want to provide some life skill, I have a life skill blog I want everyone to read, and I'd like everybody to comment on it. All right? It's very simple. It's about self-discipline in the martial arts. So the parents are sitting there saying, thank God, my son needs self-discipline. And the kids are over there focused, they're concentrating. All right? If you're not doing that stuff almost every single day in your school and your staff's not trained on how to do that, you must get those. Those are the most critical ones you need to get. So when I talk about offline to online. We're going to go over a lot of different strategies of how to do that. That's one sample of how you can do it. If you're just getting started on social media, after the seminar, you could see me, and we'll put you through our social media basics course. You need to go through that first. It's a basic course just for you to learn. All right, so you can go through that. I know a lot of you guys have. Who's gone through the social media basics course in here? Awesome. Good. So if you haven't, it's time to start doing that when you're done. All right, so time. We talked about the excuse of time. We heard a lot of excuses about time. And the key is it doesn't take that much time. It's how you use your time. It doesn't take a lot of time. Like people think it's like, oh, it's too much time. They haven't done the research. It's not a lot of time. It's how you use your time. So the key is consistency, having like a schedule that you follow. That's why we do the posts for you, because that way if you're busy, at least they're getting done. Right? Creativity. For those of you, I'm not sure if anybody was on the Champions Way Facebook fan page last week. All right, I'm constantly working on ways. And we had a contest. I'm sure some of you guys actually participated in the contest. I said, we're going to give out free prizes. All right? And we had over like 75 schools upload a picture. I just said, upload a picture of your school. All right? And we're going to talk a lot. It was just a great contest. We got a lot of feedback. We got a lot of new clients from it, because we gave out library memberships. All right? That way you can come to our Monday morning webinars. So they posted a picture. We said, here you go, here's a free month. All right? You could do the same basic strategy for yourself. Okay? And we're going to talk a lot about that. Offline to online. I'm going to talk about that again and again. I'm going to beat it in your head, because that is the thing where all the schools right here, or all the businesses, that's where you'll struggle. You will not do that. Staff awareness. All right? Does your staff have any idea about offline to online? You have to help them. Phone calls. When you're making phone calls, all right? If you're doing lead calls, if you're even just calling follow-ups, do you take the time to say to them, have you been to our fan page? Have you been to our social site? Have you been to our Twitter? Like anything like that. Really simple, but no one does it. At the enrollment process, same thing. Are you doing it at the enrollment process? Your staff needs to be trained on this. And then monitor. I'm going to show you some screenshots. Monitoring your social media or analyzing it. We're going to show you how that works too. Okay, so 5 ways to grow your reach on Facebook. Here's 5 simple ways to grow your reach. The first one is have a page launch or a relaunch. Make it over the course of a month. So if you're struggling, you're stagnant, all right, then you want to offer a page launch or a relaunch. So if you already had it, that's great. All right, and just tell everybody you're going to relaunch it again. You can still keep it up, but have a party, get everybody pumped up, have a free class. We'll go over more details about that, but it's simple, something simple everybody can do, and you can get another 20, 30 fans. 20, 30 fans, if they have 200 friends each, do the math. Simple. Contests, pictures, and videos. Don't always go on Facebook and ask people, we're going to have a picture contest. That's the wrong place to do it. I did it for you guys because I don't see you. I work with you virtually. All right? In my school, I should be saying in my classes, we're looking for the best jump kick. Parents, come out here. Let's take some pictures of our kids. Simple. Something like that. Let's have the best balance contest. Let's have the best focus contest. Parents, come out here and take pictures. All right? We're going to give away a free Black Book Club membership. All right? Everyone should have wrote that down, because that is the simplest way I just gave you right there, where you can guarantee you'll get activity on your Facebook page. Because again, it gets uploaded and everyone else sees it. All right? Sales and deals. I'm not sure where you guys live. I live in New Jersey, and I can tell you, I started doing sales in January, and that's when we finally started. I was like, wow, this is pretty slow. All right? We started doing deals and sales on Facebook, in school, all right, and things started going viral. People were trying to save money. So you got to have deals. You got to have sales. I'm talking about sales, not 19 or 10% off. It's not going to cut it. You got to go crazy. And then people will say, yeah, well, then I'm attracting the wrong type of people. It's better than attracting no one. Okay, and not getting any new blood into your school. You got to get the new blood into school. Fundraisers, community events, and cross promotions. Fundraisers, people will get involved with that. It's for the good of the community. No one cares about your 6-week special. Remember, I'll say it again. No one cares about your 6-week special on your Facebook page. No one. Okay, if you get one person in 1 year, maybe you might be lucky. All right, but a fundraiser for a child, a fundraiser for someone that grew up in your community that had a cancer, something like that, that brings people together and also helps you brand with your branding. People they're like, wow, this champion school, I like what they're involved in. And then when they think about signing up at a martial arts school, who are they thinking about? You. All right, well, it's going to be you or your competitor. Community events, women's self-defense seminars, bully prevention, things like that, they will get involved with that. They're not going to care about your 6-week special. The same thing, I'm just saying it again, they're not going to care about that, but they will. Women's self-defense, bully prevention, all those types of events. Drives for deals, okay? You want to have drives for deals, like reward your people this whole week. When you have a relaunch party or you're trying to go to 100 likes on your fan page, 200 likes, 300 likes, 400 likes, whatever, have drives and tell people, listen, guys, here's what we're doing. I'll give you an example. For Champions Way this week, guys, I want to get involved. I want you to recommend all your friends, okay? And the best part is, if we can get up to 1,000 fans by the end of the week, let's just say we're at 800, all right? If we can get to 1,000 fans by the end of the week, that means recommend all your friends, recommend all your friends. Then we're going to give everybody 50% off whatever, right? But you push it hard, and we're working together. It's a drive. So I need you, okay, to help me, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you 50% off. That's what we did in my school. Right? We did something similar to that. It was a drive to get to 1,500 Facebook fans, okay? And when they got to 1,500 Facebook fans, we just did 25% off for that entire week on sparring gear, summer camps, things like that. So the whole week, we were working together. They wanted the sale. All right, and then the thing is, once we got there, everyone bought stuff because everything was 20% off. So that's what I'm talking about, drives for deals, okay? It wasn't on Facebook. It was internal. It wasn't just on Facebook. I was in the school. The instructors were talking about it. I'm sending out messages, emails, everything, just pushing it. Okay, now the reach report I talked about, again, going back to that reach, if you don't understand the reach, none of this stuff I'm talking about, when you have no one on Facebook, it's not going to work. If you have 8 fans, it's not going to work. So the reach report, you have to basically try to make sure you get that. And if that doesn't work, I can give it to you afterwards, but you can text SMO to 64842. That is their actual reach report. This is what it looks like. This is the actual reach report. It's an Excel sheet that you could use and just check all of your followers on the different social channels. There's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. The amount of, we put their names in. We want to know who they are. Who cares about the numbers? Right? But the thing is, when someone's liking your fan page, all right, I'll show you, some of you guys know what we do. When we're driving all these people, we're monitoring it. You could monitor the new likes. And also, when you have the new likes, it also tells you their name. So why would you not write down their name? And then what we do is we go one step further. Mike, you know what we do. We send them a landing page that says, thank you for liking our page. Here's a 25-hour credit towards a new service. And anyone that wants to see that, I'm not sure the room where it's going to be. I'll be working with anyone the whole weekend on social media. I'll show you how the link works. I'll show you how to do it. But if you don't have someone doing this, and you're saying, social media doesn't work, yeah, it doesn't work because you're not working. Like you have to be accountable for it. It does work if you have the right strategy. All right, you have someone watching every single day who likes your page, and when they like it, give them something. You have to give them something when they like your page. So that's another picture. We'll just go past that. So the Facebook blueprint. Okay, so these are, in my opinion, the top 10 things to do for you. So if you said, Sensei Nick, what do I need to do? This is it right here. These are the top 10 things you should do. Now, some of you guys could already check some stuff off because you've been doing it, so that's great. But if you haven't, let's go through it anyway. So number 1 is customize your page 24/7 lead generation. I have some samples I'll show you in a second. But that page, when people go there, we know what we say. You have one chance to make that impression. So if you have the ghetto version, if you have nothing, they're going to leave. They're just going to leave right away. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, launch or relaunch party. That's the number 2 thing you need to do. So you go back next week, you get your page customized, whatever, and let's just say June 1st. That's what I'd be realistic. It might take you about a week, 7 to 10 days to get it customized, to make it look professional, not word art, all right? And then from there, have a party. For the next month, have that launch, the relaunch party. We're relaunching our Facebook page, and we're asking everyone. It's all going to come down to the people that are promoting it in school, all right, and your instructors. That's what it's going to come down to. Number 2, Facebook domination course. And I can take you through that. If anyone's interested in doing that, that's like a really more advanced course on Facebook through Champions Way. Come see me if you want to do that. I want you to come see me. I want to see how serious you are, and I'll get you registered for that. Deals and discounts, go crazy. Like I said, not the 6 weeks for $99, 5 hours off. They're not going to attract anybody. Go crazy with the discounts. All right, the ebook, I already gave that to you if you texted Sensei Nick to 64842. All right, start going through that right now. Track your reach daily and hook them up. So if you're not, that's the other thing I explained to you before. Number 7, do not start till you have analytics, meaning that if you're not tracking what you're doing, like your Facebook, if you set up your page and you don't have some type of lead generation capture form on there, all right, then you shouldn't even start because you don't even know if it's working. It's, like the quote we use, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. So if you start all this and you have no idea if it's working, you're wasting time and money that you're never going to get back. Okay? Use local directories to drive traffic to your page. Local directories, Yelp, Bing, Yahoo Local. Those are some samples, all right? Prepare for the negative comments, all right? When I hear someone ask me this, I know right away, wow, they really don't have any experience with social media. Sensei, we don't want to go on Facebook, or we don't want to go on social media because people might complain. They might talk bad about our brand. I got news for you. They're going to talk bad about you either way. They are. They're going to talk bad about you either way. So would you rather at least be able to defend yourself on there? If so, like if they come to your page and someone's really upset, all right, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's okay. Oh, this is ridiculous. I waited for 45 minutes for this. You respond professionally. I'm so sorry for your experience. I'm on top of this. I will contact you as soon as possible. And that's it. You get on the phone, call them up, you deal with it like a professional, and that's it. That's it. Whether they're unhappy with your classes, and I've been asked really, I use the word ridiculous questions. Someone will say, well, what happens if some bizarre thing happens? And I just look at them, I'm like, hey man, listen, I'm not I don't know what to say about that. I don't even want to mention what people have asked me. What if this happens? I'm like, are you serious? So I'm talking about bad customer service. I mean, if people are doing things that are bizarre, that's on you. So be careful. But it's going to happen. All right. And then number 10, set up Facebook groups in your school. What I mean by that is, we all have advocates in our school. We all have the parent. We all have the mom that the kids love it. There's 4 kids. They love the school, whatever. And the mom's on Facebook and she's promoting you anyway. She's always talking, go to Champions, go to Champions, go to wherever the name of your school is. Set her up as an admin on your fan page, that's all. Just a basic admin. Get a couple of them. Why would you not? Well, what's so secret? What's the information on there? What do you have on there? There's nothing on there. It's a marketing tool. So, just give it to them. I have probably about seven or 8 admins on my page, just moms of this karate school that go on there and they post things. So, start with one. Start with one and just I want you, if they're active. You don't want to get someone who's not active. And here's the other thing. Who could answer this question? What would you be looking for? If you're looking at someone on to become an admin, what should you be looking for from them? What should they have? Anybody? Come on, there you go, Brett. Tons of friends? Exactly. A reach, right? Yes. All right, the other thing I would look for, business owners. Local. Not someone who has a business in another country. Right? I want to have someone like local, the pizza shop, the Italian deli, all right, somewhere, a daycare center, someone like that. That's someone I would like to work and cross-promote with. All right? So those are the top 10 things to get started. All right, so this is an example that we talked about of a Facebook page, Like Us. They actually, this is a sample, what they see before the like your page, and then this is what it looks like afterwards. I have a basic traditional martial arts school. That's for someone who's a traditional martial artist. All right. Then we have one for more of a boxing or MMA style of a school. All right. Then we have another one even for yoga. All right. So here's one of a yoga page. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what they'd see first. Like this for access. So they have to like it, and then you give them access. Just like I told you in the beginning, you have to give something to them, right? So you want them to like your page, then you give them access. All right. So I'll show you if anybody needs help with that. I'll show you what that means. Okay. So custom Facebook pages. You want to have separate tabs for promotions, all right? 24/7 marketing. Lead conversion. You want to know, out of the leads you're generating from that, did you convert any of them? What is working, what's not working? Next level is the contests and the deals. Contests and deals do not work if you don't have any followers, right? If you don't have any fans or likes, that's why, again, I said it starts with reach. So keep that in mind. Oh, let me go back here. The quote that's on the Champions Way water bottle, hustle beats talent if talent doesn't hustle. All right? I want you to think about that because that's what it's coming down to when it comes down to your Facebook. You got to be hustling every single day. You got to be talking to people. You got to be networking, talking to business owners, talking to people with reach, talking to your local car wash, doing cross promotions with posters. That's it. I took out some other things out on there. This isn't the quick fix, and there's no quick way to get rich. We know that. All right? It comes down to hustle. That's it. Okay, in your martial arts school, even with the social media, you got to talk and network as many people as you can. So I wanted to show you guys this number right here. This is our fan page, and we probably have about 200 people that are just probably you guys and people that I know that are local. But I would never come up here. And one thing me and John pride ourselves on at Champions Way is we're not going to tell you to do something we haven't done. All right, we're not going to say you have to have a fan page and then I show you my fan page and I have 4 people. That's, you know, I can't come up here and do that. So this is just, and here's the best part. I haven't been in my school in a year, and I have 1,500 fans. I haven't been there, right? So when I'm telling you about training your staff, it's what I'm doing. I have to rely on my staff to do it because I'm not there. So that's not bad, 1,500 fans. Champions Way, we're up to 2,200 on our fan page. That was like about, we started at 600 when I took it over. Now we're at 2,200 about a year later. Not bad. We also have our Champions Way community, 3,000 followers. Our 3,400, people are on our online community. All right, we have our Twitter, about 900 people. So we have a solid social reach. All right. This is what I rely on mostly for my school. This and YouTube. These are the 2 main things I work on, is Facebook and YouTube. Facebook everybody's on, and everybody loves watching videos. That's what they love. All right. So we'll talk more about that too. All right, next slide we have down here, I was telling you about the tabs. So the tabs are over here. So you see we have welcome. That was the one I did, the welcome tab are the ones that I showed you where it says like this and you get that. All right, the second one I have here is alerts. So this is, I use this for our mobile marketing. So they could text champions to 64842 and they receive updates, special offers, and the latest news. All right, when they text it. So once or twice a week, we're sending out a text message reminding them about the belt graduation, reminding them about events, and I still use the 80-20 rule. All right, if I'm getting people to subscribe to my mobile marketing, I'm not going to start sending them specials on a 6-week special. All right, I would use something else. It's called a code, a different code. And you use that, and then you use that for like events when you're doing birthday parties and other things. That way, if you know they subscribe, you know that they're leads. All right. So, but my parents that are happy, my students when they subscribe to this, all right. I use the 80-20 rule. I don't want to just keep spamming them. People hate spam. That's the thing with emails. People send out email campaigns, and you wonder why they're not working. You only have 40 email addresses, and you keep sending them the same thing, and they're already students. So you have to understand who it's going to. So that's what that looks like. Now, if you notice too, like this is our news and events, but instead of just having a document up there, all right, I defied some rules. Some people would say you never want to take people away from Facebook, but what I tried to do here was, you want my events calendar? Okay, cool. I want you to have my events calendar, but guess what? You're going to scan the QR code, and it's going to take you to my social site. So I got them interested on Facebook. There's good content. They're seeing some good information. All right, but now I'm saying, cool. Well, you want to see what is going on for this month? Scan the QR code, and I'll bring them to the social site. Eventually, the goal is to bring them to my website, not to stay on Facebook. So I used it here. Now I could play around with that. This is a QR code. Now, if you guys don't know what a QR code is, you will know what a QR code is by the end of this weekend. Some of you guys have seen it. Some of you guys haven't. It's okay. All right. We're going to teach you about it's called a quick response code. You scan it, and at the end of the seminar, you're going to scan something. You're going to register for our free. I'll tell you later. It's a surprise, but you'll see. It's going to be up there. I want to have everybody take their phone out. You're going to get a chance to try it out. So that's how they would do that. So this here, they would scan it, and it brings you to my social site, and it brings them to our events calendar. All right. So when I talked to you about analytics, this is what I'm talking about by analytics. All the landing pages that we use on Facebook, email marketing, mobile, all those different types of landing pages. A landing page is a lead capture form. Okay. All those landing pages, when people fill them out, they go into what are known as our SMO results. So if you notice, Facebook's been pretty good for us. We have some good Facebook leads here. These are all people from Facebook. And these are not fake leads. Okay, these are all people in my area. The area code's 856. So in the past about a year, 10 leads. That's not bad. That's not bad. If you get like 2 or 3, I think you should be happy for people taking it out, because most of the time they'll just go on there, all right, and just call you or whatever. So they actually filled out we have an offer on our Facebook page that says like, free lesson or free offer. I'm sorry, it's free offer. They click that, and then it gets their information, name, email, whatever, and it gets connected to Perfect Mind. So that's how that works. Okay, top 5 reasons your fan page will not grow. I'm telling you why it will. Let's go over why it won't. No deals or discounts. Okay, no deals, no one cares. Inconsistency, you post once a month. Once a month, it's not going to cut it. Unrealistic expectations, you think that the first month we're going to get you 40 students, never going to happen. 10 students, not going to happen. It's not. You're missing the point. You don't even understand social media if that's what you're thinking. Don't think like that. All right, think about it as, there's number 1, customer service, improving your customer service. You should generate leads, right? But you have to grow your reach first, because the reach is how you're going to get leads and how you're going to get more students. Too many pitches. What I'm talking about there, too many sales pitches. You're going on Facebook, 6 weeks for $99, $19.95, 2 lessons for this for that. It's just a whole bunch of sales, and then this is what it's like. People are like that. Get away, all right? Not driving traffic offline to online. I already talked about that in school. So if you're not doing these 5 things, this is why your page will not be growing. You have to be in your school, working it, driving people to your fan page, birthday parties, driving people to your fan page, belt graduations, driving people to your fan page, special events, driving people to your fan page, all those different events. Okay, 10 things you must do offline. So you're wondering, I gave you a couple of them, but let's go through these quick because I know everybody's hungry. So I'm gonna try. We have a great buffet, so I'm gonna try to move a little bit. I'm gonna try to hustle for you guys a little here. All right. So no more paper. All right. I didn't bring my phone up here, but I don't have like some fancy camera. I don't need a video editing software. Let me tell you why. Because by the time you do that, it's already too old. All right, you just need an iPhone, whatever device that can capture right from the mobile device and throw it right on YouTube, throw it right on Facebook. You know, by the time you get the logo on there and you edit it in Final Cut, that's an extra hour. You know, I know I've tried it. And I've convinced finally Master Freed. We were doing videos for the library. We needed the logo and everything. Remember Sensei John? We needed on everything. And I finally convinced him, like, Master Freed, if we do that, by the time the videos go up, they'll be old. Because I know that you give it to another guy, because I'm not doing the videos, and it's a week till they get them back. And by that time, it's old news. Belt graduations, outdoor events, techniques. All right, I was helping Ricardo Almeida, a good friend of mine. I was helping him. His brother's here. Where's his brother? Okay, Flavio, so here you go. Because he was saying, well, Nick, how could I use it in my school? And I said, when I talked about techniques, so I was demonstrating a Kempo technique that I was teaching, and I went over it, and Kempo is a really intricate system, very similar to Jiu-Jitsu. All right, very similar, but what I explained to him was I said, you're teaching a technique, it's a jiu-jitsu technique, some kind of guard pass, all right? And what you do is you teach the students almost all of it, all right? And then you say to them, okay, guys, we're running out of time. Class has been good. I want everybody to go to our Facebook page tonight when you're done, all right? Around 9:30, I'll be home. I want to actually give you a couple more tips pertaining to this technique, and I want to hear your feedback on it. You're their instructor. Like when I hear people tell me they can't do that, I don't ask my students. I tell my students, you're a teacher. All right, so Terrell, I need you to go home tonight. You guys over here, please, I want your feedback. I want to give you 3 more things that you're missing on the technique. So on Facebook tonight, and then please provide your feedback. Us. You see what I'm talking about? That's it. That's simple. All right, like that. But that's got to be done consistently, not once a year. You know, like it could be a black belt club class. It could be your master club class. It could be anything we're talking about. Same thing. Why aren't you? Then what about the parents? If you're talking about life skills every single day in your class, get the parents involved as well. Thanks, Sensei. Okay, parents area and the blog. To me, they're connected. My blog has now or my quote board. I used to have a white quote board. I'm sure you guys have a quote board, and maybe some of you guys do. So it's in my classroom. And I have my students clap it in. All right, I treat my students like a team, like a sports team. So everybody claps it in. All right, here's the quote board right here. All right, there's a parent area over here. All my parents are sitting right there. I don't want to do the quote board 25 feet from the parents. If you have it, move it. Your quote board should be here. Your parents should be right there, not like around the corner. All right. Now what I'm saying is a quote board. You know, hustle beats talent if talent doesn't hustle. That's my quote. All the students clap it in. The students are right here. Their parents are right there. All right, what I've done was I've taken it, instead of having the white quote board, I put it into a blog and use the iPad. All right, because now what I could do is, again, you want comments, you want remarks, you want people go into your website. So I could have it on there, but then also have it on my iPad, and then as soon as I'm done, okay, you guys are the parents. Okay, Terrell, Mr. Karma, if you could just pass this around the iPad, this is our quote or our blog for the week. If you could just pass it around the parents. Parents, I'd really appreciate your feedback. We're working on life skills. Please, just I want your feedback. This is a simple story of you could just check it out. And then now all of a sudden, you know, guess what? You just gave them something, they actually read it, and they're reading, they're like, wow. I'm not going to let my son, I'm not going to let him quit. I love what he's learning here. This is amazing. And then maybe they go home and have a conversation and talk about it. There's so many different ways you can do it. Instructor communication. What is, like, when your instructors are failing at working on these things I'm talking about, they're not failing, you're failing. All right? I know because I did. I failed. All right? This was the toughest year of my life. I went from being in my school every single day, all right, to basically not even being there ever. All right? I'm not involved in operations at all. So the one thing, the great conversations with Master Freed, he would say to me, he's like, you're failing, Sensei Nick. That's what he'd say to me. And I'm like, how am I failing? You're not communicating. You're not making it simple for them to understand what to do. So if they're not getting the people on the fan page, they're not doing the birthday parties, they're not doing these things, it's not their fault, it's your fault. You have to be accountable for that. You got to lead by example, you have to do it. And since I did that, things have been a lot better. Contests in school, like I said, not just, I saw it. Here's what happened. Last week on our Facebook page for Champions Way, we had a great contest. It was nuts. Like the images, videos, pictures were coming up. Gavin, I saw your school on there. You uploaded your picture. A lot of you guys did. But then here's the thing. So I watched, and a lot of you guys tried it. You tried it. The problem was no one even posted a picture. We're having a picture contest. Upload a picture. But the thing was, if you don't have that reach like we do, thousands of fans, but here's the secret. You might want to write this down. I didn't only just post it on Facebook, okay? I sent out text messages that I have under Sensei Nick. I said, we're having a Facebook contest. I went in the community, and I told 3,000 people, check out this link. This is our Facebook contest. All right? Those things right there, that reached another 4,000 people. And I drove them to the Facebook page. All right? And I talked about it in my webinar. All right? That's how I got 85 people to do it. All right? So when you have those contests, think before you have the contest. Because if not, you're going to have a dead contest. You're going to announce it one time. You're going to say, oh, you know what, let's do a contest. And you're going to have it up there. No, you're not going to get anybody. You got to have a strategy. You have to have a strategy. Make a list of who's a fan. Have you done that? You have print out a list of your students. Yeah, does it stink to go through every single one by one? Sure. All right? But come on, guys. So what? Go through. Check it out. You know, you could be teaching in class. Okay, Samantha, she's my assistant. While I'm teaching class, I want you to go through. Here's a list of all of our students. Go through. Here's the parents right there. There's 10 of them. Go see if they're on our fan page. So are you on our fan page? No? Okay, cool. Guess what? We have a 25-hour credit. If you go on our fan page right now, that's it. Give them something. You can't just tell them to go to your fan page for nothing. What are they getting out of it? 25-hour credit. That's simple. Paperwork. While you're doing the paperwork, when someone's signing up, that's when you get them. All right. Social media boot camp for parents. That's what I'm working on. I have Tony Miller over here. She's always working, always hustling, all right? And I told her, I said, Tony, you're going to start doing these little boot camps like I'm doing right now. You guys are going to do that for your parents because they are clueless, all right? They are, I'm telling you right now, the majority of them are clueless when it comes to what we're talking about. One place where martial artists were always ahead was marketing. We were always really good at marketing. So when I see these business owners, like I have guys coming into my school bragging how much money they make, talking, I mean, I live in my school's in a predominant area, and they're bragging, always telling me all this money. And then I'll talk to them like, so how's your social media? Social media, we're great. And I'm like, really? I'm like, let me take a look at it. Let me see your fan page. The first thing I go to, it's a personal profile. It's not a fan page. Like so that means they're going to get deleted eventually. They have no fan page. But the hard thing is they don't want to hear it, most of them. All right? But they will. They will because it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So you could have these little boot camps. And the good thing is, guess here's what you're trying to do. You're just having these boot camps so you can cross-promote with them. You don't want to charge them, right? If they own a business, why not give them free information to help them? Because then they're going to help you. Yeah, we're doing a free boot camp this weekend on Facebook fan pages. You announce it for a month. Everything I do, I wait till the end of the month. I never do it that week. All right, so June 1st, I start announcing it. June 27th is when I do it. All right, a basic, get a little, projector. That's all you need. All right, it'll work. Okay. I know I got to start moving, John, because everybody's getting hungry. 5 ways to make it grow. I've actually already gone over these a lot, so I'm going to go through these quick. We talked about bully prevention. I told you to give, respond to others I didn't talk about. When you're on Facebook, you can't just be, it's not a one-way conversation. Go on other people's pages, other friends. That's what we're going to get to in the algorithm in a second. That is critical. Make sure, number 3, you should be writing that down. Because if you're not doing it, that's why no one's reading your messages. Okay? Follow a strategy that works. Webinars and courses through Champions Way. This is our library. This shows you example. You have no idea what to post. This is a month in advance. This is the entire month of May. Day by day, 4 times a day. All right, so you don't know what to do? This is how you get started. All right, this is in the Champions Way library. This is in the Champions Way SMO library. Yep, there's a library for the basic skills of the martial arts. And then there's another library for those of you that actually want to work on more advanced stuff with me. All right, this is a social media strategy library, all about Facebook, all about Twitter, telling you and your staff exactly what to do. So what to do on Facebook, all right? And then here's another one right here. This tells your staff what to do. All right, what the that's a front desk person. We have your instructors, okay? What the strategy is and the detail of what to do every single month. That way, if you have no idea what you're doing, just follow that, okay? Here's an example of some of our banners, landing pages. You could take these and just take the HTML code and start using them. And if you notice too, look at the kits that we made. The content that we're giving, it's nothing about 6 weeks for $99 because no one cares. Right? Nothing about the introductory special because no one cares. All right? Bully prevention seminar, people care. Everyone's kids are getting bullied. I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know, I'm sure even in your areas. In my area, it's unbelievable how many kids are getting bullied. You offer a bully prevention seminar, you're going to get people. All right? Free introductory kit for 3 to 6-year-olds. Now, the kit teaches focus and concentration. That's it. Talking to the parents. They get the kit, and then the kit goes to the parents, they download it, and it explains them like a report on focusing and concentrating. They get that, you know if they opened it, and then you call them, and you follow up with them. All right, you gave them something, now they want to talk to you. As opposed to just calling someone up. I've done it. I've called more than anyone in this room, I guarantee you. Cold calls, guaranteed. I know I have. Because I've been in the cryo school since I was 20. All right, 6 days a week, every single day. But no budgets, never had a budget when I worked for other people. We had, it was just like, you gotta get on the phone, you gotta get on the phone. So like, I played games on the phone. But people told me no, I would try anything. So this right here, I'm telling you, this is huge. They open the kit, all right? Hey, Mrs. Johnson, what did you think about that kit? You know what? I'm sorry, what's your name? I'm Nick, Sensei Nick. Oh, Sensei Nick, this is exactly what my son needs. This is exactly what he needs. As opposed to this. Hey, this is Sensei Nick. I'm sorry, is this Mrs. Johnson? Yes. Oh yeah, well, I just wanted to see if you're interested in trying karate. I'm sorry, how did you get my number? Well, you were actually at a birthday party. Yeah, that was about 8 years ago. Okay? So you see what I'm saying? This is like right now, today, they open it, you call them, they're interested, you close them. Simple. All right? Here's a sample. People are wondering what landing pages are. This is a traditional landing page for the summer special. The traditional ones, all right? This is a kickboxing one that killed it for us. Really awesome. 6 weeks for 50 bucks. All right? And here, people would say, that's ridiculous, that's crazy. Well, I got 87, or I don't know, 78 people in 1 month from it. I'll show you my board. For those of you who know me, it's called the In Your Face board. It's all my enrollments for the month. It's only a 6-week special. But guess what? If I bring 70 people to come in, all right, they're all talking on Facebook. It's crazy now. You drive by my school at nighttime when kickboxing is going on, people are just like, what is going on? I own my own building. So you drive by, and it's just nuts. It's pretty crazy, but at least it's good. People are talking about it. They're saying, like, most of the schools are dead. They're dead. So at least when you drive by Champions, they're saying, go to Champions. It must be good. People are always there. All right? So here's another sample. This is what we send the people when they like our Facebook page. All right? Right now, what's happening for the majority of the people in this room, you're sending them nothing. All right? You're not giving them anything. They liked your page, and you're like, nothing. You're just like, oh, whatever. All right? This is what has to go to them. A $25 credit or gift certificate towards a new purchase. All right? This is it. If you're getting leads on Facebook, and then you're not even calling them, because Facebook's not making it easy for you. So we are. We took out the equation. We're saying this is how it should be. Here's a yoga yoga page. Here's one for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. All the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys out there. All right, I thought of you guys too. All right, so this basic one, summer class is now forming. Nice picture. Here's one for MMA if you're doing mixed martial arts. All right, simple. All right, these can be used for email, any type of marketing. Landing pages are going to work, and it's a link. The most shared thing on the internet, the most clicked thing on the internet is a link. So this doesn't come out like this. All right? It would say, click here for a free lesson. Click here for a special. Click here for our summer whatever. All right? That's it. And it's a link. And then you can track the links. Put it in Bitly. For those who don't know, I'll show you that later in the room. All right? So that's an example of that. There's my nephew, Sensei John. He runs my school in Turnersville. All right, Train for Life for kickboxing. Okay, we got to move. Takeaway number 3, Facebook algorithm. All right, whatever is this? That is the Facebook algorithm. All right? It's called newsfeed optimization. Okay, I'm not going to go through this too much, but I'm going to explain to you in layman's terms. Keep it really simple for you. All right? So when you're going through this, the 3 myths about the newsfeed. The newsfeed is in the middle. That's where everybody's posting. What most people think is that every time I post, if you have 1,000 fans, those 1,000 fans are going to see it. Not true at all. You have 1,000 fans on your fan page, doesn't matter. All right? That algorithm I just showed you, which that could take me an hour to explain, that determines how many people actually see your post. Just because you have 1,000 fans doesn't matter. If you haven't engaged with those 1,000 fans in the past 6 months, say like 400 of them, those 400 are never seeing what you're talking about. Ever. It never goes. It doesn't go to everybody's page. That's not how it works. Okay? As long as I post every day, Facebook will reward me. That's not true either. You want to rotate your content. You want to mix up your content, videos, pictures. It's a rotation, blogs, questions, things like that. That's going to reward you as well, not just having the same thing. I've seen people, they just think that they automate it. There's programs you can just automate it, and they post quotes, 5 quotes a day. You're hurting yourself. They don't want that. They don't want just quotes every single day. And the quotes are just one. You might get a like out of it, maybe a response, but if that's all you're posting, it's not going to work. The more posts you do, the better. Not true at all either. If you're posting all the time, you're not getting any comments, that's not good. That's why when we start off for some of you guys, and then you're not getting any comments, all right, we'll stop posting as frequently, because that's not good. They don't want to see that. Okay, so what if you don't understand it? If you don't understand the Facebook algorithm, your message will not be seen by as many people. So we're going to help you with that. So how do we increase our edge rank? That's what it's known as. It's known as edge rank. So 10 simple ways. All right, this is for anyone. All right. First, comment and like other people's posts. I told you that. All right. Comment and like other people's posts, not just your posts. All right. We have a thing. It's NBC. All right. That's what we talk all the time. Nobody cares. All right. Stop talking about yourself. All right. You have to get engaged with other people. Don't just talk about yourself all the time. You can do it on your personal page, but not on your profile or your fan page. Ask a question with a picture or a video. When you post a picture, don't just throw up a picture. Put a question with it. All right. I had a picture of Chloe Bruce and Gene Fournette, 2 of the best kickers ever. I throw up out there. Who's a better kicker? That's something simple like that. All right. You guys can do the same thing. What do you think of this kick? What do you think? Which kick's better? Be creative. Have a video and picture contest. We talked about that. How to do that. Use events as a way to get customers to upload pictures and events. Belt graduations. Everything's kind of going full circle. You see it. We're talking about the same things. It's just a little bit different. Talk about Facebook. Facebook loves you when you talk about Facebook. They actually they'll send that message out to everybody. Their 6-week special's not going out. All right, they're not going to post that to everybody, but they're going to talk about, when you say, check out the new Facebook update, all right, that's going to get seen by more people, because think about it, it's Facebook. And it's true. Scavenger hunts. We're starting to work on that now with our SMO clients, incorporating QR codes and social site with scavenger hunts. For those of you that watch Jay-Z, his Facebook page is crazy. All right, it's called Decoded. He uses QR codes, uses Facebook. He's got I don't know how many millions of fans now, or likes, or whatever. It's crazy. But scavenger hunts with other local businesses. That's it right there. I'm telling you right now. Scavenger hunts with other local businesses that are interested in getting more leads. We're going to help you with that. Start off with a post with something crazy. Everybody's always just saying the same basic thing. Start with something, get some attention. Change it up. You got to wake people up. Whoa, something like that. That's what I would say. Or nothing, no curse words, but something to just get everybody to wake up. To look at your post, oh my God, OMG, real big, something like that. Just change it up. Babies and controversy. All right, I had a video I wanted to show you. Baby videos. People love babies. All right, so sometimes you take other people don't understand. They're like, Sensei Nick, you're posting these videos and these articles. Well, guess what? If it's good content, it doesn't matter who wrote it. That's what social media is. You don't have to write every single article. I'm not telling you to take your competitor's blog article, but take something, as long as it's good. Who cares? That's the best part about it. You don't have to be a writer or anything like that. Now, here's another sample too. I told you about controversy. All right. For those of you that know Rashard Mendenhall, here we go. Let's give them a hand, everybody. Nice job, guys. That was awesome. Anyway, that's a prime example to show you how to use that. Now, Rashard Mendenhall, okay? If you don't know who he is, anyone that knows me, I love football. I love the NFL. I could tell you where anyone went to college in the NFL. If you don't believe me, ask me afterwards, I'll tell you. I just love the NFL. Anyway, Rashard Mendenhall, really interesting. Here's what I'm talking about, controversy. Champion, okay, have you heard the clothing brand Champion? That's who sponsored Rashard Mendenhall. You ever heard, raise your hand if you heard of Champion. Yeah, the sweatshirts, the shorts, right? Okay, so they sponsored Rashard Mendenhall. He was like, one of the people that sponsored him. So Rashard Mendenhall was tweeting, and a lot of people have been in trouble with tweeting lately, right? He tweeted about, Bin Laden getting killed. And Champion, what happened was they made an example out of him. Everyone started talking about it. It was ridiculous how many views he had. But what Champion did was they just let go of him, right? Because they had so much exposure when they fired him. Everyone was just thinking about Champion, Champion, Champion. So controversy, all right, on your fan page, it will get reaction, okay? It will get comments. But you got to be very careful. It's a very fine line. All right, you don't want to get him. You don't want to say this is crazy. Check this out, or something like that. Or what about Rashard Mendenhall? All right, that's like winning. With what's his name? That kind of stuff will get comments. But be very careful with religion and politics. Don't start talking about it. But things like this is what happened with him. Champion, they killed it. Like they just used him as a scapegoat, and it was nuts. All right, for what happened. I got to take it afterwards tomorrow. All right, got to be a little quicker. Almost there. It's cool. Takeaway number 4. You will market to mobile phones in the future. So basically, I had that about 2.5 months ago when I started doing the presentation, and I had to change it. All right, I had to change it to now. You're going to start mobile now, not in the future, now, tomorrow. As soon as you leave here, that's it. Mobile websites, you have to. People aren't going to be looking on desktops in the next year. So you're going to wait till the next year, or you're going to start being ahead of your curve. So the stats. Let's talk about the mobile marketing stats. 90% of mobile marketing messages sent to cell phones, okay, are open and read. 95%. On email marketing, when you send an email out to someone, what is the percentage of opens on that one? Who could tell me? Anybody? What do you think? Mike, what do you think? No. Not hours. Percentage. If I send out 100 emails, how many are opened? 50 to 20%? Okay. What do you say? 5. Who's that? Where's that? Is that you? 5%. I think 5 to 10, you're about right. That's a staggering number, isn't it? You send out an email campaign, if you're relying on email campaigns and you're getting 5 or 10%, I agree with you. You're looking at about 5 or 10. If you're getting 25 or 50, that's amazing. But you're probably, let's just go in the middle and say it's 15. Text messages, 95. Who doesn't know? Who's ever been text messaging and just be like, I'm not reading it? All right? You guys like that one. On average, emails are read within 48 hours. So, and I'm looking at this to myself and I'm saying, you know what? When I have fun nights and I send out email campaigns, they don't even work, all right? Because it takes them 40 hours to open it. Think about it. If you send it an hour before, you think, who's going to get it? Barely anybody. All right, text messages are within 4 minutes. Internet, 1.7 billion users. Mobile devices, 4.8 billion. The reason why I have this up here is you got to think of one thing really important. Smartphones will not be the option, they'll be the necessity in the next year. Now, you won't be able to go and say, you know what, I don't want, you'll have to have a smartphone in the next year. So if that's the case, that means, look at this, you can go on desktops, there's 1.7 billion users, or you can go on mobile devices, there's going to be 4.8 billion. Think about it. Scary. 89% of major brands are planning to market to mobile phones. 89%. Are you? It's time to get started. Okay. Flyers, QR codes, or both. So flyers, I would never even do a flyer unless now I would because of QR codes or mobile marketing. Because at least I could tell you, Master Fried said this to me about 6 years ago. He said the problem with traditional marketing is you don't know who's looking at it. So he's like, Sensei Nick, when they come in and they say they want $600, say to them, I'll pay you for the amount of people that actually look at it. All right? So now you can kind of do that with the QR code. And if you don't understand what it is, I'll show you. Okay? So I would do that if I was still doing traditional marketing. I would never do it without a QR code. How are QR codes used in our school? I have a couple more videos here. This is Rachel.
Hi guys, Rachel here from Champions NJ. I just want to go over a little bit of our QR codes. Me as a front desk person, I constantly get asked for paper, I get asked for events calendar, curriculum sheets, and CODs throughout every day. The kids constantly ask me for them, but instead of asking people to go to our blog, because it's hard to get people to go to our social site, we have our QR codes up here now. So anybody who needs a QR code for anybody from a white belt to their red belt, or anybody from adult yellow to their adult red belt, they're all right here, and it brings you directly to the page.
Okay, so that's by curriculum. kids and adults. And those curriculum sheets are held on social site. So instead of having the parents having flyers, white belt, yellow belt, all those, who has that, right? Okay, good, get rid of that. You don't need that anymore. All you get is you get a QR code. You have all your curriculum right up there. They take the smartphone out. You want a white belt sheet, Mr. Johnson? No problem. If you just scan it, some people aren't going to have it. No one's, not everyone's going to have it. But this is the easy way. And the best part is it drives them to the social site. It takes them to your website. They scan it. You'll see it later. Don't worry. Okay? All right, so here's another video.
Hi guys, Rachel here from Champions NJ. I just want to give you guys a little bit of information for the outside of your school. Just in case your front desk person or any of your instructors are in and out from the school, we do have our QR codes on the outside of our windows, which is great for anybody who's a walk-by or a drive-in. You can go over here and they can take their smartphone and quickly scan our Champions schedule as well as our Champions events calendar. Both of them have email addresses on them and as well as our contact number here at the school. So it's great for anybody who needed some quick information and we weren't here and they could just contact us through our QR codes.
Okay, so what I'm saying here, all right, is basically, instead of when people go to your school, if it's closed, they can now scan that and get a schedule. All right, instead of having the flyers, I'm not sure who did it. It's probably one of you guys. I saw some flyers out there for a Muay Thai kickboxing program, right, on the desk. All right, and I looked at it. The first thing I thought of was like, wow, if he had a QR code on here, it would actually have been pretty good. Because if there was 200 people here, he would know, all right, who actually scanned it. All right, otherwise you're going like this. You're just praying. All right. Now John, I have to show the next video because if not, it'll just play anyway. Because that's what happens with this. This is me showing you my front desk. Hey everybody, this is Sensei from Champions Way. I want to talk about the QR codes and how to use them in your school. So if you notice here at our front desk, Rachel already showed you what they're here for. People that don't have a smartphone, okay, we do have some extra copies here for them. Okay, but we're showing everybody how to use it. So the first thing we do is we tell them to go to their smartphone and then they download the QR reader, free QR reader, or Enigma. Okay, those are the QR readers that you want to use. So once you've downloaded it to your phone, which I've already done, all right, then it's going to look like this. You'll actually see like a camera. All right, that's what it will look like after you download it. All you do is scan it right over one of the QR codes. So I'm going to do it on this one. Okay, that's for the champion schedule. Okay, and in 1 second I'll show you exactly what comes up. So it scans it and then it brings it right to my schedule. So if you could zoom in there, Rach, that is our champion schedule. All right, and the cool thing about that is that that is off of our social site. So it redirects them, it takes them right to our social site. So we're taking everybody to our website, which is really important. Okay, so if you need any more assistance, just contact Champions Way. Okay, so that's how I'm using it in my school. Really simple, really basic. And the cool thing is this, that's why I had to leave my cell phone over there. All right, because between my schools, and between things I have on social networks for social media for martial arts schools, all day long I get leads. All day long. All right? If I had a close-up of my camera right now, I would show you since I've gotten here, I've already gotten 25 leads between you guys and my school for people that have scanned codes. It's awesome. I get their name, email address, it's every time I do it. So that's a sample. Okay, I'm going to go quick because I know these guys are dying of hunger. No reach, no message. I'm just going to keep it simple from there. All right? Mobile rules of engagement. Know who you're sending it to. That's one of the worst things. That's like email campaigns. Why are you sending your students 6 weeks for 99 specials? Right? You're trying to sell them again. So know who you're sending these messages to their mobile devices. Twice a week at the most. Anything more than that will be spam. Content rotation. We talked about that before. Alerts and schedule changes. Links will get shared. Okay. You don't want to. It's a lot easier for them to share links on their mobile devices and make your links and your landing pages shareable. That means you have options where they could share it on Facebook, Twitter, or email and stuff like that. Okay, next slide. All right, so our last takeaway, and we're done. How social mobile marketing make a deadly combination. 24/7 and instant versus 1 week shelf life. Traditional marketing materials, even with the magazine ads that go out, right? Even with a QR code, they get thrown out after 2 weeks at the most. They're gone. All right. These other things that we're talking about here, social media, it's 24/7. It's always up there. They can go back and look, QR codes, things like that. Wake up and have leads. It's awesome. I'm giving you exactly what I do. I wake up in the morning, and I just wake up. I'm like, cool. Whether it's martial arts school leads or whether it's karate school leads, or you could pray for leads, as I call it. Just pray and hopefully that magazine ad goes out. All right. Maybe we get a couple leads. All right. Shotgun marketing is now a laser. All right, that's it. It's fast and it's quick. All right, versus before you had the shotgun, you had the ads, the little VIP passes going into businesses, doing all that stuff. Now it's a laser. You have social media, you have mobile marketing, and it's quicker. All right, so let's review. All right, cool, we're done. All right, I know everybody's starving. That's your reach, okay? Everything in marketing starts with your reach, not even social media. Everything in marketing. If you can't reach people, all right, then why are you doing it? You can't do magazine ads or anything. So everything starts with reach. All right, number 2, the Facebook monopoly. All right, we talk about all the different social networks. If you're just getting started, Facebook is the boardwalk of social media. There's no doubt about it. That's where you want to get started. Start with that. Okay. You need to understand EdgeRank so people can hear, see, and feel your message. And yes, I do have feel in there too, because that's for you to understand that offline is just as important. Probably, maybe even more important. All right, but if you just post on Facebook all the time, but you're not talking to people, feeling, having them do the kicks, getting some, feel of that onto Facebook, it's not going to work. All right. There's the EdgeRank I talked about. I can help you guys out with that later. Mobile marketing. Start it now. Start it today. Work on getting your mobile devices, your mobile sites. All right, and the deadly combination, there's a sample of just mobile, Facebook. By the way, 33% of all Facebook posts, they come from the mobile device, all right? Not from the desktop. That's interesting already. What's that going to be like in a year? Think about it. If right now it's 33% of all Facebook updates come from a mobile phone, all right, what will that number be in a year? All right, probably close to 60. I should mark that down, write it down, and see next year where the CWAY. Let's see where the number's at then. That's a really, really important number for you to note and to realize. So some free goodies. All right, this is what I'm trying to teach you guys. All right, I'm trying to teach you that right now. I gave you an ebook. All right, and I have some other stuff for you. That's what you guys need to do for all of your prospects and all of your social media reach that you have. So we have number 1, the ebook. Text Sensei Nick to 64842. If it doesn't work, I'll help you out. The free reach report, text SMO or see me after class for that. And this is the last thing. This is your last chance to actually experiment with a QR code. This is to register for our June 4th mobile marketing course. All right, it starts on June 4th. You can take out your smartphone, all right, and you can scan this right now from right where you're sitting, all right, and you can download, if you have a smartphone, take it out, download the QR reader. It's a free app, QR reader, scan it, register, leave your information, and you'll register for our June 4th mobile marketing course through Champions Way.